So yeah, Ludacris has dropped off the 2026 Rock the Country Music Festival tour after fans have criticized his inclusion alongside artists who are perceived to be aligned with MAGA politics. I called it MAGA adjacent. This retreat shows how artists' political associations are scrutinized in a current cultural and social media landscape, and I'd say rightfully so. So there's a video we're going to watch where it's me. So here's me talking some shit about Ludacris and what's going on there.
Speaking about yourself in third person right now.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know how I feel about it.
Some of you may have seen Ludacris's recent involvement or name on the flyer of that Small Towns in America thing, which had like
So
99% country artists, but also like Nelly and Jelly Roll and stuff like that. And the concert series looked extremely MAGA adjacent and very weird optically. Well, anyways, Ludacris's spokesperson says that it was a mistake, that his name shouldn't have been a part of it. But this is also because he has been facing a lot of backlash for this.
Are artists under more pressure than ever regarding who they affiliate with, and if so, why?
I think
Chrisette Michelle.
Yeah. Wow. That's look, at this point, we can't act like we don't know. You know, even
that's what I said, actually.
If you don't have a television, then maybe. And you've never haven't turned it on in the last 6 months, then maybe. But we know better than that. It's just like when people say, I remember Bill Maher caught some flack, and he should have, with all the criticism he's had of Donald Trump, honestly, for the past 15 to 20 years since he's been on HBO. And then to go to a Donald Trump, whether it been in Mar-a-Lago or, you know, or the White House, I can't remember. But he said, you know, it's an honor to meet with the president. No, it's not. It's not at this point. We know too much. You know, depending on what your politics are, you can't use that as a cop out. And like just when I'm sorry, but if you see Kid Rock at the top of the list, it's hard for me to believe that somebody who's as seasoned in the game as Ludacris didn't know. You know, I don't take his representative, you know, is trying to protect him, and that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you there's some paperwork that's already been signed where Ludacris really was supposed to be there. They just don't throw your name on these sorts of things without approval from, you know, manager, accountant, whoever. Like Ludacris is, you know, he's an A-lister in a certain way because, you know, he's been in movies. He sold a lot of records. He's
State
a Grammy
Farm
winner. You know, he's got an endorsement with Movado watches. You know, that's big money right there.
Yeah.
You know, so I think the backlash and a lot of what he experienced online and people saying, what are you doing here, does have to do with why he pulled out and why his representation covered for him. Yeah. Because I think he thought, hey, there's going to be a large crowd of people who are going to love to hear me sing Move Bitch, you know, and maybe area codes.
Honestly, I don't think he even gave it that much thought until people threw his ass to the freaking dog when the list came out, and it was like, oh, damn, I can't do this shit.
And you shouldn't have felt any comfort by saying, hey, Nelly's here too.
That's what it was.
No.
That's what it was. So
because
Nelly's going to do it too.
Or maybe it could have been something he signed up for, and he didn't know who I was going to be, who was all going to perform on it. Like, was this a Kid Rock? Did Kid Rock put the show together himself?
I have no idea.
Yeah, because I don't know.
It's called Rock the Country.
I don't know all the specifics of it, but as far as artists being more under pressure now, especially in the climate as far as politics are concerned, absolutely you have to pay attention to that. And it's either you're going to stand on one side of it or you're going to stand on business as far as the choice that you chose. Now, I will give Nelly that. He stands on business.
Ludacris.
No, I'm saying that I meant to say Nelly.
Because Nelly not pulling out.
Yeah, I give Nelly credit as far as standing on business, as far as sticking to his guns on this shit, whether he knows how to articulate it correctly. I'm saying articulate, I'm not even doing it. Yeah, all of that. But yeah, whether he knows how to say it correctly or not, he's still standing on business as far as, well, I'm honoring the president and this is my stance and blah, blah, blah. That might be a crock of shit. And he's definitely lost some fans because of it. But he picked up a lot of fans too. That's the thing. If you're really ready to alienate the fandom that you created up until now to get some new fans that really don't align with what you're doing all the way, so be it. But
like Nicki Minaj did.
Yeah, that's what she did. But like Ludacris, I think he hasn't turned that leaf yet. He was caught up in the Cat Williams. Cat Williams called this shit out 2 years ago, damn near now, because he referenced Ludacris in that video where he pretty much blew
His
up
wife.
the world. Yeah.
The weird light skinned wives comment.
Yeah, that. Yeah.
She not weird looking. She light skinned, but she's
I
not
don't
weird
know.
looking.
But like what he was saying was making a little bit of sense.
I think there's a possibility that, and then Byron, you can talk, but I feel like there's a possibility that also, and I said this in a video, that maybe just testing the waters a little bit. Let's see what the backlash is like. And then if the backlash is negative, then all right, well, this was an accident.
Yeah.
You know? So,
because we already know that wasn't an accident.
nah. No.
And honestly, this is the
No,
thing
too
with Ludacris.
much.
Oh, no, I'm no.
No, you're good.
Ludacris got enough money to say no.
Mm-hmm.
So does Nelly.
We
Yeah.
don't know that.
I mean, he did.
Everybody has enough money. Like, I
Yeah.
could be broke and have enough money to
to say no. Yeah,
Like,
if you feel like it's something that's against your
yeah, come on,
morals.
man.
Yes, you do.
But we'd have no standards. Like, it's like, come on, man.
That's why you followed him in the first place.
Everything is okay.
And also to that, like, not everybody is a fan. Like, these are just because these people are going to like you because you stand with them politically, potentially. I mean, granted, this is framed as not being a political show.
Mhm.
It's very political because of literally everybody that's booked on there for the most part. Just because a white person will give you a little bit of tokenism, whatever you want to call it,
Great choice of words.
does not mean that they're going to be a fan of you. It just means that they're happy that somebody that doesn't look like them is standing on their side.
Mm.
And that's all that is. And, you know, it's not fandom.
But then they use you as the point of reference when they say, see, he's cool with it.
Mm-hmm.
It always turns into that type shit.
Yeah.
So
Got one of the darkest.
Yeah, that's not what they're going to say in front of your face, but that's what they mean.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what broader trends, I'm reading this, I have not read this question yet. So what broader trends in hip hop culture does this reflect the most?
I think, especially when we talk about Ludacris, we talk about Nelly or Nicki Minaj. These people are in such a bubble that's basically made of money that they feel like they can do these things and come around us again. You know, even if you're somebody who's, I don't want to say she's a nobody, but like somebody like Amber Rose, you know, who feels like she can go speak at the Republican National Convention and then she can still come around and hang around us and it's all good.
I mean, she's a bop. Bops can hang around anybody.
This is true. But, oh, wow, yeah, you did. That is true. But I just think there's also like, there's some people who'll be like, if they offer me that much money, I'd do it too. And I think that's where, because we are such
Bitches.
yeah. I mean, there's, I wouldn't even say bitches. I'd say hoes because hoes get paid.
Well, bitches and shit.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
bitches,
so there's a
ain't
lot of
shit but
people
hoes and
who, whether they want to believe it or not, they have a whole mentality. If somebody's got a check for them, they're going. And regardless of what they said, they're going to go shake some ass and be at that crypto ball. They're going to be at the country music festival. They're going to be at the MAGA fest. And they don't care. They don't care nothing about coming home because technically they already live somewhere where they're not around people who would call them on their bullshit.
I think the broader trend in hip hop is a lot of these artists don't pay attention to politics enough. Back in the day, people paid attention to what was going on politically, and their stance came out in, you know what I'm saying, how they presented themselves. I just seen a video today about NBA YoungBoy talking about we need to get behind what Trump be saying. But
he wants a pardon too.
Well, he already got a pardon.
Yeah, okay.
But then when they asked him about the pardon, he's like, I don't know nothing about that. But these are the people that people are paying attention to.
Yeah.
They don't know any better. So if we came from a moment in time where your artists know about the politics, they know about the wrongdoings in America, they know about what we should be fighting for, and they're talking about it. And then you fast forward to now, the people just don't give a fuck about it. And it's just like, I'm really here just to get some money. Y'all need to pay attention to what that man Trump saying. I don't know shit about me getting pardoned. I'm just out here and I'm making a living. It's like you have to set yourself up morally to exist out here rather than just co-signing anything and everything just to exist at the end of the day.
That's one of the reasons why I thought Kendrick was so important.
Yeah.
Speaking on our previous conversation, when he became that popular figure, I was like, oh, it's somebody who actually cares, like about everything else, and he's going to be a popular figure, as opposed to Drake, who doesn't care. He never talked about it.
No, he's Canadian.
Yeah, well, that too.
I think the difference is, it's cool to be a hoe now. You know what I mean? It's cool to hold yourself out. Back in the day, the time that you speak of, it was not cool to cross over. You was looked at as a sellout and a hoe ass motherfucker if you sold out.
Mark ass bitch.
Yeah, if you crossed over. You know what I mean? Like, quiet as kept, my affinity for MC Hammer. But everybody hated him because he had crossed over.
Not even that, but I mean, they tore his ass up because he was out there dancing for fried chicken.
Yeah.
I mean, and honestly, in the now everybody want to get a Happy Meal deal.
Yeah.
Crispy chicken.
I was about to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have the action figure?
I did. I'm glad you said it was an action figure. It's not a doll. It's an action figure.
You don't get that LeBron James action figure?
I didn't get that one. I was too old to get that. Yeah.
But, it's also, maybe it's Fonte's fault because he said, what the fuck is selling out if ain't nobody selling? So, he's turned the tide. It's his fault.
You know what? I'm going to play white devil's advocate here.
But you're black.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing about selling out. There's a lot of black people playing white devil's advocate.
Black people can contribute to white supremacy.
Absolutely. There was a character called Steven in a movie called Django.
But you got to look at it like this. For the longest time, especially if you're listening to a lot of the fringes voices, and I don't know if they're really fringe voices, where they've said, okay, if we're going to continue to vote Democrat, we need to get some tangibles. Now, that's probably my influence to listen to a little Tariq Nasheed. I try to listen to all the voices. Yeah. But now there are individual artists who's like, well, I'm not worried about tangibles for everybody else, but I am worried about tangibles for me. So that's where you find, Ludacris and Snoop Dogg and Nelly. And I'm going to throw Jelly Roll in there now because now is Jelly Roll becoming that white person? The way we talk about Kid Rock, we start talking about Jelly Roll?
Very much so.
Damn, okay. I hate to even say it.
I know. But we need to have that conversation eventually if he's going to be up there, with the rest of the MAGA crowd.
God damn
so
it.
when you talk about Chrisette Michele, you know what I can't say about Chrisette Michele? We can't say it about Chrisette Michele.
She actually friended me after that happened, so she must have needed some friends.
Wow. I can shoot her some bail because it was before Trump had taken office, so we could say, okay, well, maybe she didn't know. We know too much now.
It's so hard to not know anything.
Can you forward that friend to me?
So I think now what we're looking at is black people artists, entertainers, on an individual level saying, okay, I don't think there's any way for me to get tangibles for my people, but there is a way for me to get tangibles for my people, which means the people who live in my house.
That's just so freaking selfish, especially to be in a position to where you actually don't have to worry about nothing.
Yeah.
And you are in a great position to position, especially being from Atlanta. Well, he's from Chicago, but he resides in Atlanta.
See, we didn't have to do that, but
yeah,
it's true.
It's true.
I mean,
it's all a proximity to whiteness.
Yeah,
is what it is.
Yeah.
Who said he didn't have to worry about nothing though? You know what I mean?
See, we don't know.
Damn, once you get up there, your bills get higher.
It do, but in the same token, we just talked about him being a movie star and an artist. He's part of the Fast and Furious franchise. I'm sure he's getting pretty nice checks from that for the rest of his life.
Hey. He's spending that money too.
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of times
you better sell that Acura you've been holding on to all these years.
You spend as much as you make, and at one point Rick James was rich too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
He snorted a lot of cocaine.
Hey, man, we don't know what people doing. Like they handle their scandal a little bit different. I'm not making any assumptions on any of these people, but like you
had women chained up in the basement.
You invest in one bad fried chicken franchise, or you can have a bad summer and not be rich anymore. So
no, man.
I'm just saying it like, once again,
crypto coin.
There are people who have made so much money and they're in a position to where like, I can't worry about y'all because I'm worried about me. And I think that's where a lot of this comes in to being just purely transactional. I don't know if they actually believe these things that the people on the far right believe. you know, I think with Nicki Minaj, like we talked about her a few
We'll talk
weeks
about
ago.
her in a minute.
Yeah, we'll get back to her. I think it's 100% transactional, and that's all it is. Like, and once again, they have hold themselves out for wherever they can get the money. If the money's on the right, then I'm gonna go get it.
Yeah. That's why I kind of said it's like the proximity to whiteness
And the white money.
and the white money and what that all comes down to.